take on any assignment that keeps them flying. Watch for soaring adventure in a breathtaking new family series, Spencer's Pilots, coming Fridays this fall on CBS. New comedy, Alice.
You busy?
No, you want to dance?
Hi there, Flo.
So far this week, I've been offered candy bars and nylons.
Starring Linda Lavin as Alice.
What is this, World War II?
Bright comedy this fall on CBS. Intrigue rocks the foundation of a giant corporation.
The only thing we have to decide is whether we pull the trigger before or after dinner.
This is a corporate coming out party, Mark. I want you on that board. And if you have to pass a test to get there, you'd better pass it. To marriage.
Actually, we're not married.
Oh, I see.
What kind of moral value is acceptable, Andy? You and Gloria Delicio?
Enter the Executive Suite. Exciting drama this fall on CBS.
His name is Serpico, the undercover cop who made such a name for himself. They made a movie about him. Now a TV series. Serpico, a cop who's hard to recognize.
You know, Alec, the purse is very useful, you know? It keeps away the bad guys.
Oh, that's cute.
A man who's hard to forget.
It's a terrific unit you got here, Lieutenant. You're out of line. I'm out of line, huh? That's what I said to you. You're out of line.
David Burney is Serpico on the streets.
I cop a kilo of skag for $5,000 here in the city. Drop it in Toronto for 10. I get 4, you get 1. The guys we're dealing with are very heavy. Very bad. You understand? So it's got to go down right.
And on his own.
Waste whatever. What are you trying to do? Get me killed?
Serpico. He's got a badge, a cover, and a reputation because there's only one cop like him.
All the best from NBC.
Brash young photographer meets conservative columnist in Norman Lear's great new comedy.
Doesn't anyone in your generation have manners?
Richard Crenna and Bernadette Peters in All's Fair.
God, she's cute.
Coming this fall on CBS.
David Brenner stars in Snipped as a swinging hairdresser who keeps the customers satisfied.
How is everything, Miss Nestor?
I have a feeling it's terrific.
And keeps Leslie Ann Warren steamed.
It's an ecological thing with you. You hate to see a woman going to waste.
Together they get all the kinks out in Snip.
The West was alive with good whiskey and bad women. The good life and the low life, and ready to live it all were the Bodine brothers. Quest, starring Tim Matheson and Kurt Russell, as two brothers, one raised by Indians.
I never thought I'd see you again, Morgan. Never. I hardly recognize you.
I am known as two persons.
The other raised back east.
You ever kill anybody?
Of course not.
Have you?
Yes, but never with a gun.
You don't know anything. I'm willing to learn if you're willing to teach me. And there's a couple of things I could teach you.
Now united in quest of their Indian-held sister.
Don't! You'll never make it!
Don't worry about me. I don't want to slow you down. I don't want to go alone anymore.
Quest, a sprawling, brawling Western in the great tradition.
All the best from NBC. This fall, NBC sends you all the best.
It's Triple Emmy winner Dick Van Dyke with a new look and a new show. Step lively with Van Dyke and Company, plus special bonus, top guests.
All the best from NBC. This fall, NBC sends you all the best.
His is the power to disappear at will, but catch a 15-minute-a-day limit.
What happens at 60?
You fade away, and you never come back.
Better than Bionics, Ben Murphy is Gemini Man.
Here's a hot contender contender for TV's comedy crown.
When you're throwing the ball from center field, home plate is over here. Not over here.
You don't think Rhino's going to get an ulcer holding it all inside like that?
They might not win a pennant, but they'll lead the league in laps batted in when Jim Bouton stars in Ball 4. Wednesdays this fall on CBS.
From the people who brought you the Mary Tyler Moore Show, meet Judge Walter Franklin, just a man fighting for a little respect.
Is something not quite right about that tie?
What's wrong with it?
It's hideous.
The Tony Randall Show. ABC, the one to turn to for action with a special strike force headed by a veteran cop who has all the answers, Robert Stack.
It guarantees us a case or a confession.
And enforced by two backdoor cops who have their own answers and a lot of questions. Together, they hunt the most wanted.
This'll back my bet. Complete ownership in the railroad.
The man, Ben Calhoun. His hand, for Queen. His winnings, a railroad. With it came trouble and excitement as he hammered a spiked path across the Old West.
Get a hold of Krikorian, Paluski, 4 or 5 of the others. See to it they got guns.
You're making a fatal mistake.
You really going to build that railroad?
You bet I'm going to build it.
Watch Dale Robertson in his most rollicking, rugged, adventuresome role in years. Watch Iron Horse, in color, on ABC.
Season starts September 5th. 2 men search for a gunfighter named James Sonnet. The boy seeks a father he'd never known. The man must find the son he'd known too little.
Oh, you sonnets. I wish I had the middle one in front of me here right now.
You mean James? Now, that's a foolish wish, mister. From what I hear, James is the 3rd best shot in the West.
The 3rd best?
James is darn good. But he's better. I'm better than both of them. No brag, just fact.
The Guns of Will Sonnet stars the distinguished actor Walter Brennan.
Grandpa?
The Guns of Will Sonnet, in color on ABC. For the defense. Defense that makes headlines.
What are you honestly trying to do? Turn yourself into the biggest martyr since Joan of Arc was burned at the stake?
Judd, for the defense that stands between alleged crime and punishment, between an accused murderer and the gas chamber.
I don't know about the liberal press, but I do know newspapermen. And they like their priests soft-spoken and entirely unacquainted with guns, ladies' boudoirs, and dead wood. The right to proper notice of the charges against them. The right to counsel. The right to confront and cross-examine witnesses. The right to silence under the privilege against self-incrimination.
Headliner, courtroom fighter, Judd for the defense, in color on ABC.
Tonight at 10, 9 o'clock Central Time on ABC.
This fall, meet new Marshal Sam Best. Nobody shoots straighter.
You don't mess with Marshal Sam Best.
That's my dear.
Best of the West, new this fall.
Thursday's the night. ABC is the place.
I'm here to talk to you about the paper chase. I'm quite confident you'll be captivated by these eager young law students and their awesome yet irresistible professor. My interest in informing you of the paper chase is entirely for your own good. You will never forgive yourself if you don't see it. And neither will I.
The Paper Chase returns tonight at 10.
Hey, where's the fire? Right in those big brown eyes of Bo Maverick. Because those wild women of the American West really kindle the spark for this dashing cousin of those maverick rascals. Played for excitement, laughs, and romance by handsome Roger Moore in Maverick.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure, man. Maverick is the name. Yes, Bo is an ideal addition to the Maverick crew. For wherever he goes, he's ready to take a hand in a game, give his arm to a gal, and put his foot into trouble every step of the way.
Throw this man off.
The expected. My mistake. All right, you. So be on the lookout for Bo Maverick when he goes into action in the show with that special sparkle, all America's television favorite, Maverick, every week on ABC TV.
Every trail he rides leads to adventure. Clint Walker as Cheyenne Bodie's. Every road he travels leads to excitement.
Could be an ambush.
Hit it! Ah, they did. Every man he meets learns quickly whether he's friend or foe.
Sorry, Sheriff. You won't listen to reason. You leave me no other choice.
Cheyenne using brawn and brain to survive in an untamed frontier where bullets spoke louder than the law.
We've done enough talking, Bodie. We're coming in for him.
Nobody's taking my prisoner.
The Cheyenne Show, a full hour of spine-tingling action-adventure on ABC TV.
Say that justice is blind. But out on the frontier, lawmen have to keep their eyes open to stop the lawless from running wild. It takes something more, too. And that's why Dan Troop and Johnny McKay stand out in ABC TV's popular series, Lawman.
Put him in my custody. You know what people say if they got into more trouble now? Maybe I can find them a job. They can pay for the cow. You know, it could be you putting your job as deputy right on the line.
Here's a pair with everything it takes. The nerve to stand off an angry mob. The strength to move fast when the time comes for the showdown. In this fast-moving show that's a standout for action entertainment.
They call me the stone face, but I wasn't born that way. That badge stamped my face. I'm free, John, and you're not. I can get him if you can't.
Don't miss John Russell as Dan Troop, Peter Brown as Johnny McKay in Lawman, every week on ABC TV. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go.
Oh, gee, that's terrific, Rick. Daniel Boone, huh?
You're kidding, of course. David's outfit.
Who's he going as?
Oh, I'm not supposed to tell you, but he told me it was your idea.
My idea? Oh, David! David! Holy smokes!
Etc., etc., etc.
How do you like it, Mom?
Be sure and see The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet every week on ABC. Be sure and see The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet each week over most of these same ABC stations.
Up with a lift for everybody. Gene Kelly in Going My Way. Chuck?
I'm a little shaky. So am I, but it's against the rules to admit it.
The moving and often humorous happenings of a New York parish priest.
So you were on the marriage board, were you? I wish I knew as little about the subject as you do.
Well, Mrs. Carter is some of the best referees we'll ever fight it. She
don't play the stock market, Mrs. Featherston. The last time I knew it was the horses you were following.
You'll be swept up in the fun. It's always unpredictable and almost never peaceful.
What's the trouble?
Your friend, Father Fitzgibbon, just bought himself a stolen car.
Going My Way, every week on ABC TV. This is the world of Ben Casey.
Come on, let's go.
A great modern metropolitan hospital. An ever-exciting background for the greatest of all human dramas, where dedicated men wage a constant battle against the forces of ignorance, of disease, of death.
You will operate on my boy. You know, listen to those other people.
Those other people run this place. They run me.
This is Ben Casey, played by Vincent Edwards, unswerving in his devotion to the healing arts.
A doctor is a man, Ben Casey. There's no divinity here.
ABC TV's new full-hour drama of men and women in white who fight unceasingly for the greatest stake of all, the preservation of human life. See Ben Casey every week on ABC TV. Wednesday night, America turns to ABC for a full lineup of this season's best programs. First, a television classic in its own time, setting an unsurpassed standard of excellence, Wagon Train.
My first interest was, is, and always will be the welfare of these people.
Next, Gene Kelly as Father O'Malley in Going My Way.
What's this dance called? The twist. Well, if we live through the Big Apple, we can live through this.
If you like to laugh, Stanley Holloway's your man. Our man. Actually, Stanley Holloway's the man to watch in Our Man Higgins. Next, a program rated by millions as the ultimate in television drama, the award-winning Naked City. Your whole family is invited to share a happy and rewarding time every Wednesday evening on ABC.
McGowan is Rafferty.
You let one of those scalpel hounds go in there curiosity cutting, you're liable to end up with a basket case. Stay out, unless you know what you're after.
A tough, outspoken doctor. Rafferty, new this fall on CBS. Turn to for all your comedy favorites.
Another day, another collar.
Gotcha.
And still the #1 network for comedy.
Wonderful.
With the premiere of Operation Petticoat.
We've just sunk a truck.
You're still having fun, and you're still the one.
New, Man from Atlantis, starring Patrick Duffy. He breathes water like a fish, swims faster than a dolphin, an astounding being from the ocean who knows the ways of mysterious ocean creatures.
They only attack when they have been invaded.
Bizarre adventures with The Man from Atlantis, new this fall on NBC. ABC, still the #1 network for comedy with the premiere of Carter Country.
You don't like fried chicken? I can't even tap dance.
The family America took to its heart is moving to Wednesday with a brand new episode.
Curfew. It's going to be a problem.
Not to me. I don't have one.
Tommy's starting to have a love life.
Smart kid.
Just ask the Bradfords. 8 is enough.
Beginning Wednesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on ABC.
Thursday, the Sweat Hogs decked the halls.
Merry Christmas and a bad New Year.
Then
When is a present for your teacher not a present? When the box is empty and the guys have to get it back. And the men of the 12th get a gift nobody wants.
It's a atomic bomb. Right.
Then the cops from Carter Country go hunting for their holiday dinner. Right after Carter, What's Happening, and Barney Miller.
Watch Thursday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on ABC.
New kid in school throws a party to win friends. What happens wasn't exactly planned.
I'm especially into the sexual rituals of adolescence.
Well, then, let's get it on.
See James at 15, starring Lance Kerwin. One of this summer's biggest hits, now a weekly series. Premieres Thursday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain Time, right after Chips on NBC. It's more hazardous duty for the Chips as they search for an infant who's eaten contaminated baby food. Then,
I'm especially into the sexual rituals of adolescence.
Well, then, let's get it on.
James at 15, a new hit series starring Lance Kerwin. Don't miss James's unforgettable party on the premiere. Rossetti and Ryan defend a woman who may be turning marriage into an epidemic. 5 husbands have died, and she's got her eye on number 6. Ava Gabor guest stars. Chips, James at 15, Rossetti and Ryan. Thursday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Those chicks will do anything. Anything.
You mean all these guys in pink?
Anxious to prove he's one of the guys, James joins up with the bunch that's tarnishing a girl's reputation. Then he finds out what she's really like. James at 15, a new hit series starring Lance Kerwin. Thursday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain, right after Chips on NBC.
Charlie's Angels hit the Caribbean to rip off $1 million diamond.
Well, anything for the cause.
Then,
Go ahead and blow my brains
a
out.
killer's on the run and Billy's his hostage.
I'm going to start shooting these folks. One every 15 minutes.
Beretta, after Charlie's Angels.
Watch tomorrow on ABC.
Tuesday on MASH, Hawkeye's in over his head.
You deserve a court-martial.
Isn't there some kind of legal thing about justifiable pushing?
Then on One Day at a Time, Barbara's friend won't leave her alone.
Thinks I'm her best friend. She lives in a fantasy world.
Then dump her at Disneyland.
Then on Lou Grant, Billy investigates a wife beating.
Alice, you're not a punching bag.
Hey! Outstanding entertainment, starting at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Sunday, it's Murder on the Avalanche Express.
You're mistaking me for someone else.
An all-star cast of suspects mean mystery and danger for the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. Then, Zeb finds a former love.
I can't believe it's you.
It's a full hour of action as How the West Was Won continues.
Watch Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central and Mountain on ABC.
You could save yourself a little extra time by buying donuts in the supermarket. And you could save yourself a little extra trouble by buying donuts at the first place you see. But if this isn't worth driving a couple of extra blocks for, what is?
On the streets, survival takes everything a cop's got. Carl Malden.
That's using it.
And Richard Hatch.
Dispatch, this is Inspector 9-6. An officer's been shot.
2 tough cops fighting to keep a city and themselves alive.
Freeze! Daniel, my boy, that is what is known as a caper.
The streets of San Francisco.
Hit it.
The Peanuts Gang takes on football, tennis, motocross racing,
Good grief.
and the Masked Marvel.
Masked Marvel? Go!
You're a good sport, Charlie Brown. And then, Perry Como at beautiful Lake Tahoe with special guest star Bob Hope.
Singer Anne Murray, Billie Jean King, and a galaxy of female sports stars. Perry Como's Lake Tahoe Holiday. Back-to-back specials on Tuesday, October 28th.
Hi, I'm Danny Kaye. Help make this the biggest UNICEF Halloween ever. Back the kids up, won't you? Give as much as you can.
Sir, your shoe is untied. Thank you. You're welcome.
It's Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. With guest stars Barbara Eden and Mel Tillis. Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. Watch what happens.
Wednesday date, 7 Central on CBS.
Jellyfish killed a great white shark and ate it.
Nothing stops Mark Harris, not even the world's most gigantic jellyfish, as he matches wits again with the evil Mr. Schubert. Then, on Mulligan Stew, Stevie's into auto racing, and her family's into shock.
Sir, that car! Stop that car! That's a little girl driving!
First, Man from Atlantis, then Mulligan Stew, Tuesday starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time on NBC.
Going up means staying alive long enough to do it.
You're on your own now. It's up to you.
In the tradition of Little House on the Prairie comes Peter Lundy and the Medicine Hat Stallion. Recording star Leif Garrett is the young Pony Express rider who grows to manhood as he blazes a new trail from Nebraska to California. See Peter Lundy and the Medicine Hat Stallion. Sunday at 7, 6 Central Time on NBC.
Richard Pryor's coming to NBC.
I love American people. I want to say I had 2 for lunch. Some of you out there even have the nerve to send cards and letters and say, why don't you sell some of them diamonds you got? You take me for a fool?
Richard Pryor, America's hottest, most original funny man, with a new show every week this fall. Richard Pryor. Delicious.
What really happened to the class of 65 and the class hustler?
Got a proposition. How about a race? Who wants to what?
Swim to Catalina Island. With one leg? Christopher Tabori and Jane Curtin of Saturday Night Live guest star in the exciting new series.
What really happened to the class of 65? 1/2 hour from now on NBC.
How many children do you have, Mr. Mulligan?
7. Take a family of 5, add 4,
Over, Melinda, you're kicking me.
and you have the recipe for Mulligan Stew. It's an all-new, all-warm and wonderful movie you'll love. Then, when Dr. Elizabeth Merrill is kidnapped by a deranged scientist, the man from Atlantis faces his greatest challenge. New.
I know where that island is.
Mulligan Stew and the Man from Atlantis, tomorrow starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time on NBC.
Why are we in college anyway?
Okay, that's why are we in college anyway? Hands?
Does it start with a P?
This is Leon.
If they majored in comedy, they'd make the dean's list. Off Campus is on target for laughter.
I'm building an atomic bomb in the basement.
Tomorrow on CBS.
NBC 77, the year of the big events, the super specials. And the events will be even bigger in 78.
Some nights are gonna be special. Some nights are gonna be rare. Night after night of excitement. It's gonna be filling the air. It's gonna be a big year. 78 on NBC. A big year.
It's the high-powered offense of the defending Super Bowl champion Oakland Raiders versus the swarming Orange Crush defense of the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. Catch all the action as these Western Division rivals battle it out for a spot in the Super Bowl. Sunday, starting with NFL 77 at 1:30 Eastern, 12:30 Central, 11:30 Mountain, and 10:30 Pacific.
What really happened to the class of 65 and the girl nobody knew? Cynthia's life would make a startling bestseller.
Nothing without you, Jane. He's pushing her into a world that she's not equipped for. May I ask what you're going to do?
What everybody else is doing. Turning on?
Are you telling me Cynthia's a junkie?
What really happened to the class of 65? Tonight at 10, 9 Central and Mountain, right after James at 15.
And meet Jenny Lee Krebs.
Suddenly she's got legs.
A 16-year-old singing sensation.
She could pass for 19 easy.
Growing up faster than her fireman father can handle.
She's becoming a big girl, right, Rossetti?
Right.
Wrong! Thursdays this fall, meet America's next sweethearts.
I'll always need you, Daddy.
She's the star of the family. The show that everyone loves is back.
It's great.
And it starts September 2nd. It's Joni Loves Chachi, leading off your Thursday night starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
See why I love you.
The return of Joni Loves Chachi.
First there was the Fonz. Then came the Sweat Hogs. Now, this Friday, meet 5 of the funniest tough guys who ever hit television, the San Pedro Bums. Men of action.
I see you're fat, too.
I beg your pardon.
Just stop chewing celery. Celery makes me nervous.
The Tooth Fairy makes you nervous.
You'll love the San Pedro Bums.
Friday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain on ABC.
Wednesday, Donnie and Marie deliver the heat with guest stars Sonny and Cher, Loretta Swit and Paul Lynde, and Cotter's kid Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Then Beretta declares open season on a dope dealer.
The only thing I want to hear is that you've arrested the man who killed my daughter. Marsh is mine, but I want him out on the streets.
And then
You know, rest, rehabilitation.
the Angels take a vacation that's not all fun and games. Right after Donnie and Marie and Beretta.
Tomorrow, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain, right here on ABC.
Coming this summer on the ABC Tuesday Night Movie.
I go into the hospital for a lousy operation. I wake up 200 years later and I'm Flash Gordon.
The name of the film is Sleeper. Basically, it's an intellectual film, and there's very little overt comedy in the film. There's no violence in the film at all. It's a quiet piece of family entertainment.
Woody Allen and Diane Keaton. Sleeper.
What's the matter with my baby?
Sorry, we're going to have to do a cesarean.
Oh, dear God.
4 couples face the birth of their first child. An all-star cast in a special movie about the miracle of life, showing an actual birth, having babies. Due to mature subject matter, parental discretion is advised. They have just 48 hours before a superhighway explodes into the most spectacular highway disaster you will ever see. Robert Conrad, Buddy Ebsen, Vera Miles, David Grove, Harriet Nelson, Sue Lyon. Who will die? Smash up on Interstate 5. There isn't anything Barbra Streisand wouldn't do for her man.
$3,000 and I could make it.
If you could just lend us $3,000 for 1 week.
Take this package, get on the subway, get off at Thorough Hall.
Don't make a mistake.
Don't make a mistake.
Police, you're under arrest.
Barbra Streisand. She'll do anything for Pete's sake. Ally McGraw and Richard Benjamin.
Besides, I'm not a planner. I'm a liver.
I'm a pancreas.
Star in Philip Roth's best-selling story of young love.
What's he doing? He's in the closet making a phone call. That's what he's doing.
Goodbye, Columbus.
It's been called the most beautiful movie ever made. Now you can see why. The film that showed the world what love really means. Starring Ryan O'Neal and Ally McGraw. Love Story.
This summer, the best movies on television. The movies on ABC.
I'm Barbara Walters. Tonight we reported on attempts to determine who are the murderers of 3 young Girl Scouts beaten to death in Oklahoma. We'll continue to report on this tragic story during the week. Join Harry Reasoner and me for all the top stories on the ABC Evening News.
Are coming at you again this fall. We've got the brightest faces in television. So come on along and join ABC for an exciting season of hot new shows. Wednesday nights, it's the Gold Monkey. Take the high road to adventure with Jake Cutter, a reckless soldier of fortune.
I don't fight well when I don't know what I'm fighting for.
Why does that kind always fool guys like you?
Jake's father told him never to trust women in sexy pink slips.
You can have him now, honey. I'm done.
You should have listened to father. Women.
Men.
Jake Cutter, fearless pilots.
Hang on.
Flying out of danger and into disaster. On the Gold Monkey.
I grew up being Daddy.
Jenny Lee Krebs is on her way.
Suddenly she's got legs.
A 16-year-old singing sensation.
She could pass for 19 easy.
Growing up faster than dear old Dad can handle.
She's becoming a big girl, right, Rossetti?
Right.
Wrong!
She's America's next sweetheart.
I'll always need you, Daddy.
Thursdays, she's the star of the family. Richard Crenna and Patty Dugaston return to television.
Doctor, your wife's on too.
She's the new assistant DA, and things are tough all over.
The Barry Panda case comes to trial today.
I saved his life.
We're going for the death penalty.
I wish you told me. You could have saved me a lot of time.
They're juggling 2 kids and 2 careers.
You know, for the past 2 months, this bed has been used solely for the purpose of sleeping.
Richard Crenna and Patty Dugaston.
Go for it.
It Takes 2, Thursday. Get ready for the oddest couple on television.
I can't smoke in the car. I can't smoke in the apartment. What would you suggest I do with this?
Ron Glass and Devon Wilson.
Oscar, you are not going to get me involved in the underworld.
This is a big businessman. He does everything out in the open. Hello, this is Goldilocks. Can I speak to Papa Bear?
The New Odd Couple, Fridays. What do a dashing photojournalist and an assistant shoe buyer have in common with a fast-talking con man and a retired young at heart cop?
I gotta get to the airport.
They're off on a madcap adventure that will take you around the world. Fridays this fall, the lives of these 4 people will never be the same as they set forth on the quest. From the log rides of Japan to the dungeons of England. Join Jack Palance for all news stories of the unusual, bizarre, and the unexplained. Sundays, you won't believe what you see on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Meet Matt Houston, Texas-style detective. He left the Lone Star State for the State of the Stars.
Better cock your pistols.
He's dynamic.
Turn off your motor.
You're so taxi.
I guess I am.
Confident.
Bang!
Houston, this car does not start.
Don't do this to me.
Sociable.
Can I buy a drink? No. How about dinner? No. Nachos and a nightcap at my place?
He's Matt Houston.
I have told you the best private investigator out.
And nobody better get in his way Sundays.
You wanna be in great company? Come on along to the place where you belong.
A great new galaxy of stars joins the ABC family this fall. So come on along for another great season of entertainment every night on ABC.
Come on along with ABC.
A hard-nosed cop is framed for murder and sentenced to prison with the very killers he busted.
The dude is gonna get dusted. He's an ex-cop.
We should give him all any cop deserves.
And you don't think that's been done, huh? Claude Akins, Steve Lawrence, and Dennis Dugan star in the big event, Broken Badge, a special police story, Sunday at 9, 8 Central, right after Project UFO.
Yates and the Wolverines of Michigan take on Charles White and the Trojans of USC in the Rose Bowl. Then Heisman winner Billy Sims and the Oklahoma Sooners meet their Big 8 rivals, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, in the spectacular Orange Bowl. New Year's Day on NBC.
On the wonderful world of Disney, Professor Ludwig von Drake spins some tall tales. Then, on the greatest rescues of emergency, Gage and DeSoto relive their most exciting adventures. First Disney, then the greatest rescues of emergency and Sword of Justice, Sunday on NBC.
Painting leads Jim to some missing Nazis.
Corporal wasn't the only one of his time who was pro-Nazi.
You talking about Herman, Gary?
The Rockford Files, right after Different Strokes, Friday.
There's holiday cheer on a special 1-hour Different Strokes Friday on NBC.
When Joni loves Chachi, but someone else loves Joni.
Come on, let's be passions blazing!
I'll kill him.
Watch out, because Chachi loves Joni, too.
Surprised you, huh?
Then, a comedy special. When Jamie Lee Curtis meets the man.
They're only bluffing. They won't hurt me.
The man called Callahan, Thursday night.
This sounds like a big evening.
Richie Brockelman, Private Eye, is on the trail of some missing loot and a missing gambler.
All I can tell you is there's big money involved.
And high stakes.
Identify one picture, and he's a dead man. Hold it. Here's one of them. That's Brockelman.
And they're playing for keeps. Richie Brockelman, Private Eye, next Friday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain. The Chips zoom to a new night, Saturday, and Punch and John remember the good old days when they first met. Everybody knew they'd make a big splash. Chips, tomorrow at 8, 7 Central.
$20 gold piece.
Even last year when we had to hand in all our gold coins, I just couldn't bring myself to part with it.
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Roosevelt would understand.
If not, I'm sure Mrs. Roosevelt would.
Well, Marcia, what about Saturday night?
What about it?
Well, you are going with me, aren't you?
Well, reckon I will, but I need a little more time to decide.
Look, I really have to know it.
I think I'll see you in school, John boy.
Ah, it's done. What's the matter with you? Maggie McKenzie, what in the world are you doing? Trying to get this engine started is what I'm doing.
Why is John Boy Walton fixing your car?
I intend driving it.
Maggie, have you taken complete leave of your senses? You drive that car and you'll probably kill yourself.
If I do, it'll be no one's fault but my own.
I think I'm going to have a baby.
A dinner party turns into a blessed event.
Mary, I don't want to slap you.
Teddy, I don't feel so good. I think I should go to the hospital.
You want me to drive you?
What's happening?
I couldn't even watch when we adopted one. I need a woman in there.
On the season premiere of The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Saturday at 9, 8 Central.
Television has its traditions, and one of them is Jim Neighbors on the premiere of The Carol Burnett Show. Join the fun at 10, 9 Central, Saturday night.
Political intrigue, grandeur, romance, the Victorian England of the Pallisers, an exciting new series on the public broadcasting system, is made possible by a grant from Prudential. Starring Susan Hampshire, Philip Latham, and hosted by Sir John Gielgud, The Pallisers chronicles the life of one of the period's most dynamic families. For dramatic entertainment, check your local television listings. The Pallisers and this message are proudly brought to you by the Prudential Insurance Company of America.
I'm William Holden. 200 years ago today, John Adams asked Congress to coin its first gold medal. News of the British evacuation of Boston had just reached Philadelphia, and Congress wanted General George Washington honored as the hero of the hour. An artist was commissioned, but in the turmoil of the next few months, it was forgotten. After the war, Congress finally asked a French artist, Duvivier, to strike the medal promised to Washington.
He did. One side honors Washington as the protector of American liberty. The other shows him watching the British leave Boston on March 17th, 1776. General Washington finally got his medal, but not until 1786, 10 years late, and 3 years before he was elected president. I'm William Holden, and that's the way it was.
These historic minutes are sponsored each night by Shell.
Who is he? Just the school teacher. Convince him this territory is no place to settle down. He's ready to buy 3,000 acres from me. And take away our school teacher?
A conspiracy to keep her away from bachelors is defeated by Sarah. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central Time, here on CBS.